There's a strange moment that happens in your late 20s. You're not failing. You're not lost in any obvious way. On paper, things might even look stable. But internally, something feels off. Like you've built a life that fits, but doesn't feel like it belongs to you. And you can't explain why. In your early 20s, life had momentum. There were milestones, deadlines, clear next steps. Graduate. Get the job. Move out. Build something. Your brain loves that phase because it thrives on structured progression. Psychologists call this extrinsic scaffolding, external markers that tell you who you are becoming. But somewhere around 27, 28, 29, the scaffolding fades. You've achieved some of the things, or at least moved toward them. And now the question shifts from, what should I do next? To, why does this not feel like me? This is the quiet identity crisis no one warns you about. It's not dramatic. It's subtle. You go to work. You meet friends. You scroll. You function. But under everything is a low-frequency confusion. A sense that you're performing a version of yourself that was designed 5 years ago. First, you need to hear this. You are not broken. You are not ungrateful. You are not self-sabotaging. What you're experiencing is a developmental shift. In developmental psychology, your 20s are a transition between identity formation and identity ownership. Early adulthood is about constructing a self. Late 20s is about questioning whether that self was consciously chosen or unconsciously inherited. This discomfort is not dysfunction. It's awareness catching up to you. Let's understand what's actually happening inside your brain. Visual, abstract brain animation, neural pathways lighting up. In your early 20s, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning and long-term decisions, is still finalizing its development. You make decisions based heavily on social comparison, cultural scripts, family expectations, peer momentum. Your brain is optimizing for belonging. Because from an evolutionary standpoint, belonging equals survival. The brain constantly asks, does this choice increase my status or security within the group? So you pick degrees, jobs, relationships, cities, not randomly, but socially. Then around your late 20s, something shifts. Your brain's default mode network, the system responsible for self-reflection and autobiographical memory, becomes more active and integrated. You start thinking in narrative. Not just what am I doing, but is this my story? And that's when friction appears. Because many of your current choices were made by a younger version of you, whose primary goal was safety and approval, not alignment. It's like inheriting a house you helped build, but never stopped to design. Now you're walking through the rooms and realizing you don't actually like the layout. So what do you do with this feeling? Not impulsive quitting, not burning everything down, but quiet recalibration. Here are 4 psychological principles to guide you. Your brain builds habits around identity. Behavioral psychology shows that repeated actions wire self-concepts. If you've worked in a field for years, your brain links, I do this right arrow, I am this. But repetition does not equal authenticity. Ask yourself, if no one had ever seen me do this, would I still choose it? This question disrupts social reinforcement loops. Most people think identity crisis feels like anxiety. Often it's grief. Grief for versions of you that didn't get explored. Grief for paths not taken. In neuroscience, the brain processes lost possibilities similarly to real loss. The anterior cingulate cortex, involved in emotional pain, activates when we imagine alternate lives. So if you feel sadness without clear cause, it may be unchosen identities dissolving. Let yourself mourn them. Clarity often follows grief. Your brain is prediction-driven. It constantly absorbs social input to update its model of who you should be. But in overstimulation, constant content, constant comparison, your internal signals get drowned out. Silence feels uncomfortable because your nervous system is used to constant input. But reflection requires low stimulation. Even brief moments. Walking without headphones. Sitting without scrolling. This allows the default mode network to process unresolved identity threads. Don't redesign your whole life. Run experiments. Behavioral science shows that action clarifies faster than rumination. Try taking a class outside your field, changing social environments, exploring interests you previously dismissed. Treat it like data collection, not commitment. Your brain updates identity through experience, not overthinking. Here's the simple mental model. Think of your life as a house with two architects. The first architect was your younger self. They built for safety, for approval, for survival. The second architect is emerging now. They build for meaning, for alignment, for internal coherence. The crisis happens when the second architect wakes up. Inside a house already built. You don't have to demolish it. You just start renovating. Room by room. Choice by choice. This is not failure. It's authorship beginning. There's nothing wrong with you for feeling this way. In fact, this quiet discomfort is a sign of psychological maturity. It means you've outgrown autopilot. It means you're ready to move from reacting to consciously shaping. Most people suppress this phase. They distract. They double down. They avoid the questions. But you're here, listening, which means some part of you already knows. This isn't about tearing everything down. It's about gently asking, what would feel like mind? You don't need a dramatic reinvention. Just a series of honest adjustments. Small choices that feel slightly more aligned than yesterday. Over time, those choices compound. And one day, without announcement,